Preparing for service this morning. But before we go there, I want you all to keep our overseer lifted up in prayer. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. We serve a God that can do any and everything but fail. Do you believe that this morning?
Amen.
Any and everything but fail. You know, what we may look at as a loss, or what we may look at as a shortcoming, or what we may look at as a stumble, a lot of times is a preparation for God just to show how strong and how great and how mighty He is. So we ought to see with the eyes of Christ this morning, amen? So in preparation of this service, trying to prepare, God, what do I speak to your people about? And before we go into the text this morning, something amusing happened to me this past week. You know, growing up, a lot of times I heard that I look like my dad, right? You look just like your daddy. You look just like your daddy. And it used to bother me. I don't look like that man. He's old. Gotcha. Right? I don't look like that man, right? And growing up, you know, it didn't bother me, but it was just like, I look like me, right? I remember back in the day, we used to have the same haircut. We had the box, right? And so, you know, growing up, you want to be your own identity. But coming into adulthood, I realized that's a privilege and that's an honor to be told you look like your father. Amen?
Amen.
And what's funny is, a while ago, you know, Facebook has this new facial recognition, right? And I don't really put up pictures too often, but this one day I know I did not put up any picture. I know that nobody snapped a picture of me, but I got a notification that said a picture was just uploaded, and it might be you that's in this picture. Do you want to review it to see if you want to tag yourself? So I'm like, hold on. I know I didn't take a picture. So I go to the picture, and it's a picture of my dad. But they said it was me. So I said, okay, I really look like this man. So fast forwarding it to this week, I got a friend request. And I said, I don't know who this person is. We got a couple of mutual friends, a lot of them from down south, right? And I said, okay, I'm going to accept this person as my friend. I don't know her, but I'm going to accept her. So I accepted the friend request. And then maybe a couple minutes later, I got a message. And it said, you know, I saw your face in a suggested friends. And I said, man, he looks just like my cousin. That's oh my God. He said, do you by chance know somebody named Carl Floyd? I said, God, that's my dad. I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, just from my face, people can identify who you belong to. So I ask you today, when people see your face, when they see your actions, when they see you out in public, when they see you outside anywhere but in the church, do they see who you belong to? Would they be able to identify that, oh, that must be a child of the Most High God? Would they say, oh yes, she definitely is a servant of the Most High God? Or would they say, oh no, absolutely not? It cannot be so. It cannot be that they claim to be a Christian or a follower of God and they act like this, or they look like this, or I see them here or I see them there. They can't be a servant of the Most High God, and they do that. Without you ever speaking the word, without you ever saying anything about, oh, I'm a Christian, or I go to this church, would they be able to say, oh, that definitely is a believer? Or would they question your faith? You know, nowadays, the realm of Christianity or a believer or whatever you want to call it has become so suggestive versus demonstrative. And what do I mean by that? We have now become a church that, and I'm not talking about this church, I'm talking about the body as a whole, where we suggest Christ. Oh, God, try God. Try God. Well, I believe Paul said that I didn't come to you with excellency of speech, but in demonstration and in power.
Yes.
It's not about what you say, it's about what you do. Amen. I didn't have to say, hey, my name is Eric Floyd. I'm the son of Carl Floyd. I just had to be And people began to identify me just because of who I was. Not because of anything I had to say. So we're going to go forth with the text this morning. If I had to give a title this morning, I struggled with this a little bit. I would say that he is the GOAT. He is the GOAT. So for some of you who may be a little older than others, or more mature and more wise than others, the GOAT represents a sports terminology that refers to greatest of all time. You hear it almost in every sport. It doesn't matter what genre it is. You hear it in boxing. You know, you hear Muhammad Ali, you hear Mike Tyson, you hear Roy Jones Jr. in his prime. You hear in basketball Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant or Wilt Chamberlain. It doesn't Magic Johnson. You hear GOAT. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. Right now, there's a current debate that LeBron James is the GOAT. Now, a few months ago, with LeBron James, now, if y'all know me, I'm not really too much of a fan of LeBron James. I mean, he's a good player, just not a fan. But my favorite basketball team of all time is the Los Angeles Lakers, right? So, I liked them before. You know, they won the championship, and contrary to popular belief, my favorite player isn't even Kobe Bryant. My favorite player isn't Shaquille O'Neal. My favorite player was Derek Fisher, right? So I didn't like the Lakers because of the glamour and because of the championships and things like that. I liked them because they was a good team. But I think not, and I'm questioning, I'm teeter-tottering if I like LeBron James. But he was traded to the Los Angeles, or he signed with the Los Angeles Lakers. So for some, it was like, oh, this is a great day in LA, right? This is a great day. We got the king, is what they call him, right? We got the king. For me, it's like, I don't know. But some consider him to be the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Somebody say greatest of all time.
Greatest of all time.
Somebody say he's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT.
Now, I'm not referring to LeBron James when I say he's the GOAT. So one thing about, if you look at those who have retired from the sport that they were considered to be the GOAT of, right? If you look at Michael Jordan, one thing that Michael Jordan says is, I didn't have to call myself the GOAT. He said, I didn't have to refer to myself as the GOAT. Other people declared that about me. But one thing that's different and why I'm teeter-tottering about my like for LeBron James is he often refers to himself as the GOAT. See, me, I love humility. While you may be great at what you do, your greatness should be spoken of others. You shouldn't have to boast about how good you are. Right? If you're great, just be great. But we serve a great God today, amen?
Amen.
We serve a God his name is above every name. Amen? So we're going to go forth with the text. And we're going to go to 1 Kings. And we're going to go to verse 21. And I'm just going to give you one scripture, but I'm going to expound on it a little bit. 1 Kings 18, 21. So, how many of you have heard of the God of Baal? I know Mr. Tucker has. We don't serve Baal.
All right.
Right? We don't serve Baal. So, what Baal is, to give you a little historical text. Baal, depending on what research you do, Baal can be a god that is represented in many ways. Some call them the god of weather. Some call them the god of fertility. Some call them the god of the suns and the moon, and some call him a god of many different things, right? So, some even consider him to be the god where women and men will sacrifice their firstborn child in the fire. So, you look at this Baal, right? And in this chapter, so we're going to read it, 1 Kings 18:21, and it reads, it says, And Elijah came unto all the people, and said, How long halt ye between two opinions? If the Lord be God, follow him. But if Baal, then follow him. And the people answered him not a word. Now, another scripture, when Jesus is now on the scene and he's with his disciples, he gathers his disciples and says, "Who do the men say that I am? Who do they say the Son of God? Who do they say I am?" And they said, "Some say you are this prophet. Some say you are just a prophet. Some say you are just a teacher." And it was one man by the name of Peter. He said, "No, you are Christ, the Son of the living God." And Jesus referred, he said, "Flesh and blood did not reveal this to you, but my Father which is in heaven has revealed this to you. And upon this rock I shall build my church. And the gates of hell shall not prevail against it." So it was in this revelation that the church was born. Right? So I asked you this morning, who do you say God is to you? I'm trying not to move because we're recording here, so y'all bear with me, all right? All right, got permission to move, all right. So, with it, who do we say the Son of Man is? You know, a person can never be to you more than what you respect them to be. Well, what do I mean by that? Right now you have so many self-help teachers on social media and all across many platforms that claim to be experts and coaches and things like that, right? They tell you how to be the best husband, how to be the best wife. Or he's not equipped to be your husband. First of all, if they marry, you shouldn't be trying to break up anybody's marriage. Right? So, you can never, a person for a woman, a man can never be your husband if you never respect him to be your husband. Amen? A woman can never be a wife if you never respect her to be your wife. A pastor can never be truly your pastor if you don't respect him to be your pastor. He will always be a little bit lower than what he should be or she should be because you don't respect them in their call. So in this text it says, who do men say that I am? And Peter says, you are the Son of the living God. Now in 1 Kings 18, it's a gathering, it's a battleground, Minister Tucker, right? It's a battle. It's the battle of Elijah versus the prophets of Baal. It's a showdown, right? It's a battleground. It's about to go down, right? So Elijah asked him, he says, how long would you alter between two different opinions? Now, in other scriptures, it talks about how during these times, how there was priests that was chosen, and the priests worshiped the Lord, and they also worshiped the gods of other nations, right? They worshiped them both at the same time, and they thought that they could get away with it, right? But here it is, Elijah is like, oh no, we need to put an end to this battle, to the discussion, right? A lot of times in our mind, there's always a battle of two or more opinions or choices, right? So if I ask you, what do you want to eat? Right? You say, I don't know if I want this, or I don't know if I want that. Maybe I want this. You know, there's a joke that you should never ask a woman what she wants to eat. And she never knows. Right? She never knows. What do you want to eat? I don't know, anything, whatever you want. And you say, okay, we're going to get Burger King. I don't want no Burger King. You just said whatever I wanted to eat. What do you want to eat? Whatever you want to eat, sweetie. All right. I want a steak sandwich. I don't want no steak sandwich. You just said whatever I want to eat. Mr. Tucker like, yeah, that's right. So, it's always a battle between two or more choices or decisions. But if God be God, then let him be God. Somebody say he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. So in basketball, right, so you have again LeBron James, right, who's currently an active player. You know, a lot of times they measure your greatness by how many rings you have, how many championships you have won. Now, right now, LeBron James is not the number one player with the most rings. Neither is Kobe Bryant. Neither is Magic Johnson. Right? But they're still in the running for the GOAT. Right? Greatest of all times. How long will you hasten between two opinions? Now, in this time that we're living in, right, there's so much that's happening in this chaotic world. Amen? There's so much happening. Just a few days ago, I seen a post on a social media platform, and I'm not sure if you're aware, but there was just a legalization of abortion up to the time of delivery. Did you hear about that? Now, while we know that this nation is going very opposite, right, of where we was founded in, someone posted and they said, SMH, which stands for shaking my head, I'm truly sad. And they just posted the article. That's all they posted. Now this person is a Christian who belongs to the Christian faith. And someone who does not said, why are you sad? Are you sad because now this gives women a choice? And I said, hold on, you had a choice when you laid down and had unprotected sex. You knew what the outcome could and would possibly be. You had the choice. This is not taking a choice away from you. You had the choice. This is now a byproduct of your choice. So they began to challenge them because they said they were saddened at this new mandate or law that was passed. But they didn't express any Christian values in it. They just said, I'm saddened by this. Now this person again who challenged them is not somebody who belongs or alleges to Christianity or any religion. In fact, they allege to the very opposite. All right? And they begin to condemn Christianity. Oh, Christians this, Christians that. Now, this person who posted it said nothing about I'm a Christian. They said nothing about I believe in God. They said nothing about Jesus Christ is the Most High. They never said anything about it. All they said was, I'm saddened. But when you're the GOAT, when you're the greatest of all time, everything challenges your existence. Everything is compared to who you are. Again, let's give an example of LeBron James. Everything is compared. You can be watching the Chicago Bulls and the Sacramento Kings. Right? LeBron James ain't even playing. He ain't even been on either one of those teams. Right? And you can be talking about them too, and somehow, some way, his name get brought up in the mix. And LeBron James would have got that rebound, brother. He ain't even in the building. What are you talking about? Or LeBron James would have hit that three-pointer. He's not even playing. But when you're the GOAT, everybody wants to come for you. Because your name has power. Say with me, I'm going somewhere with this. Your name has power. Your name has power. You can go with LeBron James before he played one game in the Staples Center. Before he played one game, it was announced that he was coming to Los Angeles. He has a pizza franchise that he purchased in Los Angeles, right? And all he did was on his social media, he posted a pizza party. That's it. Never said I was going to be there. But he bought it. His name has power. He bought it, he posted a pizza party. Thousands of people showed up just because of his name. Just because of his name. Now again, I told you earlier that the church, one of the issues is that we've become suggestive. Now, the issue is that LeBron James, right? He's a great player. There's no debate about it. You can't even really debate if he's good or not. He's just good. But the issue with the church is sometimes you can come to church and it's just like, I don't know. It may be, it may not be good. So it becomes suggestive. But the church will have so much power if we just be who God called us to be versus being suggestive. We waste so much time preaching and teaching on things that has no relevance to our lives and our souls that we lose people who truly need the gospel. It's about his name. Somebody say he's the GOAT. He is the GOAT. So again, you can go outside and you can just post on your social media something about, I don't agree with this. And I dare you to put, I don't agree with this because I'm a Christian. I guarantee you will get a bunch of backlash from the Jesus haters. I guarantee. You can say, I don't agree with Mr. Donald J. Trump being president because I'm a Christian. You can just make that one statement, right? Or you can say, I don't believe in Donald J. Trump presidency, changes this, that, and the third, but I'm going to pray for him. You can just say that because the Bible tells us to pray for our leaders, amen? And people still, in that innocent statement, would challenge you based on your religion. Based on your religion. Or you say you didn't agree with the man, and you go pray for him, and people will challenge you because it's about his name. It's about his name. His name carries weight. Now I know I've never been one who goes to the clubs. I've never been one who went to parties. I've never been that type because I don't really like a lot of people like that. It disturbs me, you know. So, but growing up, you know, I affiliated with some people who went to parties and big clubs and things like that. And they would say that if it was a long line to get in, you can just say, oh, I'm with this person because their name carried weight. You know, it could be a long line of people. You know, and here comes this person who's well known. Everybody else has to wait, but because of their name, they say, oh, well, go ahead, you can come right on in. Because their name carries weight. You know, there's a movie that's Friday, right? Friday, we know Friday, right? And there's a character in Friday named Debo, right? And Debo was the bully of the neighborhood. Everybody was afraid of Debo because he had that one little lazy eye. You know, so if whenever something would happen, you'd be on your porch, right, on Friday, and they would see Debo coming. They began to hide their chains, they began to hide their smokes, they began to hide anything that was of value because who he was, what he can do, right? Because his name carried weight. Debo coming, and they all would break out. So in this one particular scene of Friday, there was this character, and I believe his name was Ray, right? And they said, Debo coming! And he had on his gold chain, right? So Red thought, well, I'm going to just hide my chain. Debo won't find it. He won't find it, right? So he tucked in his chain, he began to stare, right? Like, yeah, that's what he says, like, I'm invisible kind, right? So Debo comes, and he sees the gold chain. And of course, Debo does what Debo does, and he snatches the gold chain. Now, Red, he begins to cry, he runs to the car, right? But if he would have adhered to his name, it would not have happened. If you adhere to his name, the Bible says that he's going to come like a thief in the night. If you adhere to the name, you won't be left behind. Standing all over the building as we get ready to close. Somebody say he's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT. So what this he's the GOAT means is that it doesn't matter what circumstance, what sickness, what ailment you may face. He's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. It does not matter if you can play something in your head thinking that it's something about his name. The Bible declares that he has a name above every name, that at his name every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess. He's the GOAT. I may be stricken in poverty, but I know that he owns all the cattle and all the hill, and he formed the world because he's the GOAT. I know people may despitefully use me and things like that and try to slander my name, but it does not matter because I serve a name that's above every name because he's the GOAT. How long will you halter and waver between two opinions? If the Lord be God, then let him be God. I come to submit to you this morning that God is God. There's no debate. There's no negotiation. that God is who God is. Amen? So my challenge to everyone here and all of our viewers is what we need to understand is that Christianity and our allegiance to the faith goes beyond you calling yourself a Christian. It goes beyond coming to church on Sunday morning and Wednesdays at Bible study at 7, Friday night, miracle night at 7. That's a plug, right? It goes beyond coming and attending services. It's a lifestyle. Jesus asked his disciples, he said, who do men say that I am? And I ask you this morning, who do you say that he is to you? So I want you to open your mind and stop limiting and putting a box on who God is. God can be anything. God can do anything. And God can do